Let's get technical. Oh, dude, this is the person Goomba was saying was sus for map hacking. That's awesome. US West. Do you know what we should listen to for this? We should listen to something kind of badass. Something kind of get you fired up to kick some butt. I'm thinking some metal. But what kind? That's the question. Let's do this. This is always a go-to. Okay. Crap. I'll take this. There we go. Rivers of Nile is good. But we're already in the game. I listened to that one on Sunday? Yeah, on Sunday. 광물 충분치 않음. 광물 더 필요함. So if a Protoss was map hacking, how would they play against me? Fun open question. They can see where all your overlords are. And they can see anytime you expand and where you expand. And I need to pay pretty close attention to what my opponent is up to. Take the base when I can. Void Ray is probably the best strat to go for here. Since it's Stalker first, I'm fine to delay my wings a little bit. And I want this base to be making lots of drones. And if you make a big round of units, you can't surprise them with that. So what's best to do is to play really diligent and drone really hard, I think. And I'll try to be active on the map scouting with lings. It's kind of my rough roadmap here. Refilling the gas now. Now I want to find out whether it's ground or air. So my lings are going to go do some detective work. Okay, that's going to be able to escape. I can hear Warp Gate research is done, so I'll just get one of these. Do our diligence. We see 3 adepts. Just not a ton. I'm gonna watch the mini-map to see where they're showing up. There's a prism. I'm just gonna go for more adepts. And he can see my units, if this is actually what it might be. Which means they'll know when to go in and when to wait and sit back. So I'm gonna need to have a plan B here. Okay, there's a recall.
베스핀가스 더 있어야 함. 새로운 여왕 에너지. 군단이 진화했음.
Yep. And they'll always know when I move my stuff across, so one thing that I want to do is consistently move my forces around. Just to be really dangerous and mobile. I see an immortal here too. And I don't know if there's a production tab thing going. Because if there is, they'll know what upgrades I'm taking, so I could just take lots of them, and that makes me less counterable. I should still scout, try to do my diligence.
진화 완료. 에너지 부족함. 에너지 충분치. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
Disruptors. Okay. Disruptors are a really good comeback unit. The opponent is behind. I want to go scout now. And I need to creep a lot. And if they can see how many drones I have, they'll know when it's good to take a fourth base.
군단 병력이 공격하고 있음. 완료. 군단이 진화했음. 진화 완료. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 받아들일 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 광맥 소진돼.
And against the disruptor style, I want to make sure I'm very spread out. Okay, that base is not taken. Good to know.
충분치.
I thought it would have been.
안된 불가능함. 보급품 한도에 도달함. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
I want to kill the prison if I can. Okay, I'm gonna fall back after I kill this.
물질에 말라버림. 에너지 부족함.
I do have overlord speed. I need to try to remax now.
부족함. 광물
Make sure I always keep an overseer in the army. Okay, there's going to be another attack coming in.
광물 충분치 않음. 광맥 광물 부족함.
And they can see this, but you still have to account for it. And get some defense units in. You need to take a 5th, and I'll take a 6th base too. And I don't ever want to put all my eggs in one basket. So I should split between lanes. Okay, it's drafts now.
군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
I don't really want to commit there.
군단 병력이 공격받고 있음.
Okay.
천막 조약이 공격.
I think they know they're
말라버림.
needing to all in.
천막 조항물 공격받지 않음. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 광물 충분치 않음. 유전자 변형됨.
Ah,
군락지가 직접
blocking the Banes.
광물 더 필요함. 광물 부족함. 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 광물 더 필요함. 광맥 소진됨. 광물
With Disruptor,
충분치 않음.
there's still a major comeback mechanic, so we're not victorious yet. Okay, Archons, no storm that I can see.
레스피 광맥 고갈됨. 광 군단 병력이 공격받고 있음. 광물
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. The speed.
You have to be fast. What's up, Snake? Beautiful. Are we checking? Well, I was told by Goomba that this opponent is in the top tier of sus. And there is a person who's been posting YouTube videos with a map hack and kind of production hack thing. So it's possible there are other buddies who are doing the same thing. And this person's name was mentioned, but it could be a legit player. I can just look and see what the gameplay is like. So there's an adept attack going, and they're completely blind of anything that I'm doing at all. There was no probe scout, and there was no initial adept scout. So this is a 100% blind adept attack. That's fine. An opponent's not required to scout. the rill is pretty safe. They're going for a third behind it. And my goal here was to just macro as hard as possible without dying and just outpace the opponent. So they're not using camera hotkeys, it seems like. This is a dicey situation for Protoss to be in because you're going for a kind of fake adept attack, but you don't know if they have enough to just smash this or not. It's posturing right now. In theory, there are hacks in the game. There's someone who's posting YouTube videos of them so you can see what they are. They exist. They tend to get broken with every patch, but the game hasn't been patched, so the problem now would be worse than in the past. So this just looks like really conservative, simple adept play. They're not committing to anything and they're probing up. There's Roach Queen. And then the shades, they can't really see what's over there. The blinks were even underneath Overlord, but this is a good fight for them to take. Yeah, all of this could be normal decision making. But the thing is, with the way that I'm playing, I'm not giving them a committed timing where I'm just going to attack in and they can see how many workers I have and then counter that. I'm just staying a little bit ahead. And then they have to play a macro game. Disruptors. There's no harass at all now. And it's been a completely linear strategy so far. And by linear, I mean there's only one clump of Protoss stuff that's being used. They haven't ever split off the prism from the rest of the army. And that's one of the things that's the mark of a really strong player, I think, is their ability to have adepts attacking down here and then have a prism up here with adepts attacking here. The typical approach for Protoss would be if you force the Zerg to take this as their third and this is their second base, then you shade adepts all around their bases and it's really hard to defend. But in this case, they decided to just not attack and to make these units and sit at home, which I don't think is a great strategy because the adept falls off pretty hard. Once this reaches the mid game and you're maxed out, these suck. They're not good in a 200 supply max out. So if you're gonna go for a glaive opening, you should glaive it and attack. Trade them for drones and then make higher value units. So far, you would say the marks that count in the sus category would be they haven't scouted any of my tech at all, aside from that I have a hatchery with a spore. That's the only information they have. They saw a roach. And then this, I think they're going for a fourth base. I have a Ling here, and I have an Overseer here. So I'm going to know when the opponent takes a base. And I'm trying to pre-split my stuff so I don't die to Disruptor. And I just sent these units right here. Let's see what they do. So they're going to kind of posture here. They're looking at this. They see a couple Lings there. But I decided to try to flank with them instead of counter. And this is part of the beauty of sending Lings around, is these Lings, they can either commit to an attack or they can flank this army. And you should be flexible about which one of those you do. But I have 80 drones, so if nothing happens, I'm getting ahead. Just by running these units around. The main base is mining out, which is really good for me. Blindly throwing the disruptor shots out there was pretty interesting. Those are good hits. but I still have the supply lead, so I can afford to take a bad trade right now, and it's still better for me. And then making Colossi in a response to Hydra Bane is fine. There's nothing really sus about that choice. Colossi deal bonus damage to light units, and Hydra's, Lings, and Banes are all light units. So they're going for a 4th base. Yeah, they should use the Prism for offense. Or scout, or send a zealot run by, or DTs or something. They're just playing the can we make the counter army thing, which is typically what a map hacker would do. They haven't done any super suspicious movements, I don't think. But this is certainly what the macro skills of a hacker would look like. Where you're not doing any multi-prong, you're just sitting and you're trying to have the better army. And you're not scouting at all. But Lings are so fast. They're so fast, and if the camera control is not there, then the Lings still get a ton of damage in. So now we've wounded our opponent and they're at 53 probes. And the Bane drops are just too fast. So even if you can see stuff coming, you still have to move your camera to do something about it. And that's one of the beautiful things about Hydra Bane, is it's so damn fast and it's high DPS. And because my drone count is big, I can just remax, I don't give a fuck. My opponent's dead. They're not going to be able to kill me, and they're too all in to be able to catch up. Queens and Hydras kind of derped out there a little bit. That's it. Nice. He made the mistake of shift-clicking 2 changelings in Fog of War versus you. Didn't show right-click, but it has movement clicks, and it was obvious. Next time do a muta-switch, you'll see. You have to choose his army around following. Do you have a replay? Sounds pretty funny to me. You have many? Well, just one would be fun.